Okay, how do you feel about organ donation? Now, it's a sensitive topic if you've been involved with this subject before, but I'll tell you what I feel. When I was younger, when I became an adult, I decided to have an organ donor card because I thought it was the good thing to do. It was the moral thing to do, and didn't think anything more of it. So as an adult, I've had organ donation cards. But something changed in after all the emergency things that happened from 2019, 2020. You know exactly what I mean. And in 2020, they changed the law or the rules or whatever you want to call it to do with organ donation. And in England, I'm living in France now, and in France, so I'm assuming it's in other countries as well, you have to fill in a form on a register to opt out of donating your organs once you're died, in their eyes. So so from 2020 you have to opt out. If you don't opt out, you're automatically on the register for donating your organs. Now you might think, oh, well, that's great, or there's nothing wrong with that, or what is wrong with that? Basically, the world is a different place since 2020, 2019, and it's really important to research things these days. It always has been, but it's out there now. It's really easy to find information. If you're really interested in this subject, I will put a couple of links underneath from a video or someone that you can follow on this subject. I will put the websites, English and French, to the links for you to opt out if you want to. If you feel that you don't want to, then that's your choice too. You can always change your mind as well. So today I registered. My friend told me about this years ago, and I looked at the form in French and I thought, oh, what do I do? But it's come up today again. So I've gone on it. I've registered me and Roy on it now, and it's valid. Now what you can do is you get a number, and you can always modify it and change it if you change your mind. Okay, so it's entirely up to you. But this is something really important, because organ harvesting or trafficking is either bigger business or just as big business as human trafficking. Now, I never knew this years ago. And it's a rabbit hole, but there's so much information out there. You can look into it. But this is really important to me. So I feel really glad, really happy that I've registered. I've opted out now. Now, obviously, if somebody in my family or there's a situation that comes up that I would want to donate an organ or something, then you can change your mind. That's fine. But I'm talking about in an emergency situation. So here's the thing. Who thinks in an emergency situation you go to hospital and you assume they're doing the right things for you, the best things that they can do to try and save your life or your family's life? Now, the world has been a bit of a different place in the last few years, and they're using procedures and medicines that haven't been for the best for us. So there's three things. One is that make sure you're opting out of the register just in case. Oh, I'd love to say lots of things on this little video, but there's a clinical word that they're using to say that when you're dead, and you're not, because I know it's a horrible graphic subject, but it's important to say that you've died, but they can't use your organs if you've died already. So you're not really rabbit hole. The second thing is have a power of attorney. That is somebody that you appoint that can make decisions, medical decisions for you if you're either in a coma or you're not able to make these decisions and speak up for yourself. Power of attorney. I always forget that name. And have a living will as well. That means have a will, write a will. Now, it doesn't have to be really expensive. Write down your wishes, what you want to do with everything. Like, there's 3 things. Like, in an emergency, in the will, you can say how you'd like to be treated after you've gone, that sort of thing. I want to be cremated, for example. So those 3 things. Power of attorney. Make sure you've opted out if that's what you feel, of the organ donation, because you have to opt out since 2020. And that's it. God, I was only going to do a short video, but this is really important for me. There's so many things that you don't realise that you have to realise, especially in an emergency situation. If you go to the doctors and you have time to research and time to read your results and all this sort of thing, that's a different matter. But in an emergency, try and be as prepared as you can before it ever happens. God forbid it ever happens. Now with children, I looked into it. In France, I'm not sure about England, probably the same, that obviously it's the parental consent which decides what happens to the children. So that's good, that's fine. They don't have to opt out. But whoa, what a rabbit hole, what a world we live in. I just wanted to share that information. I don't know if you're aware of that, or you're not bothered, or now you've heard, you are really bothered. And yeah, good luck with all that.